The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ron Jeckett. Welcome to the program for this third day of May 2023. We start the second half of our Action PC Season Odyssey from Wrigley Field. First time I think we've been at Wrigley Field this year, and probably not the last, as both the Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs are in great shape as we get underway. You'd think it was 1977 or something. And Windy City is not a misnomer for this one. It's 85 degrees. The ghost of Harry Carey's having some Budweiser, and the wind is blowing in from right center at 26 miles an hour. So a festive day game Thursday, July 12th, 2001. Jason Beret and Kip Wells. Not David. I think I've called him David a couple times. But it's Kip Wells and Jason Beret going at it. The White Sox and the Cubs start off the second half of our season. As Retro Sports Network proudly presents 2001, an Action PC Season Odyssey. The second half of our program is brought to you by the same as our first half. DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And it will be Jason Beret on the mound for the Cubs. He's 30 years old. This is his 17th start of the year. The Cubs, not a huge surprise as we go into the second half. The fact that they're chasing Houston and not St. Louis kind of is. Beret at 5-3 with a 3.34 ERA, 30 years old, fastball at 92. And a fly ball plus pitcher. As with pretty much everybody, they've had a few days off. He hasn't gone in a week. A 5-4 win over the Mets on the 5th. 6 innings, 92 pitches, 4 hits, 3 runs all earned, a home run allowed. He walked 3 while striking out 5. So overall for Beret, 94 in the third innings, 83 hits, 37 runs, 35 of them earned. 13 homers, 29 walks, and 81 strikeouts. How you doing, Steeler fan? The Bucky Whips are rooting for the White Sox today. And here's how they'll line up. Ray Durham at second base will lead off. Chris Singleton in center will bat second. One of the Lees is in left field. He'll bat third. Maglio Ordonez cleans up at right. Paul Konerko at first will bat fifth. Herbert Perry at third will go 6th. Sandy Alomar Jr. behind the plate goes 7th. Royce Clayton at short will bat 8th. And since we're in a National League Park, Kip Wells will bat 9th and be on the mound for his 90 or so pitches. Rondell White is a 4-3 in left as we set the Cub defense for you. Gary Matthews Jr. patrolling the same outfield as Dad did, a 3-3 in center. Sammy Sosa, a 6-7 in right. Ron Coomer, a 3 at third. Gutierrez, a 3 at short. Eric Young, a 4 at second. Matt Stairs, a 3 at first. How you doing, Big Dave? Machado, a 6-5 behind the plate. And Beret, not the kind you find in a second-hand store, an 8 on the mound with a .964 fielding percentage. The White Sox, game 86, they are 55-30. The Cubs, game 87. They are 47-39. Durham steps in to start the second half at 290, 14 homers, and 51 RBI. And this one starts a fly ball right center. Matthews over, 1 out. Again, a warm day at Wrigley. Lots of Budweiser and old style flowing. The wind's at a very healthy 26. I think that's actually blowing in off the lake, if I remember my Chicago geography. Right center field. Chris Singleton, 323, 4 homers, and 24 RBI. Beret winds and deals. Little ground ball third base side. Coomer picks it up just before it goes foul, and he probably should have let it go. But Singleton is out on the bang banger. How about that? So 2 out for Carlos Lee. at 266, 16 homers, and 48 RBI. So we're with you the next 7 weeks, and that should get us almost to September before I go on vacation. Pitch to Lee, ground or line drive, foul. Third base side, somebody from Joliet made that catch. And the count is 0-2 to Lee. Berets pitch. Fly ball, left center field. Matthews will make the catch, and that will retire the side. White Sox go down in order. Here come the Cubs. No score. So Kip Wells, I think I've called him David a bunch of times. Kip reminds me that he's not David. Making his 11th start of the replay. 5-4, 4.65 ERA. Kip is just 24 years old. Fastball pitcher at 93 and a fly ball pitcher. His last start was Sunday, the 7th, in a 16-2 shellacking of the Pirates. He went 5 innings, 85 pitches, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a homer, and 4 strikeouts in the win. So overall, 60 innings, 66 hits, 34 runs, 31 earned. He's given up 5 homers, 24 walks, and 59 strikeouts. This is a lineup for the Cubs. Eric Young at second will lead off. Gutierrez at short will bat second. Sammy Sosa and right goes third. Matt Stairs cleans up at first. Rondell White and left will bat fifth. Ron Coomer at third will go sixth. Gary Matthews Jr. in center batting seventh. Machado in center. Machado behind the plate goes eighth. And Beret, who threw 12 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. Carlos Lee, as we set the Chi Sox defense for you, 6 and a 6 in left. Chris Singleton, a 7 and a 6 in center. Maglio Ordonez, a 4 and a 9 in right. Herbert Perry, a 4 at third. Royce Clayton, an 8 at short. Ray Durham, a 7 at second. Canerco, an 8 at first. Alomar Jr., a 3 and a 2 behind the plate. I believe that would be Lawrence Welk. And Kip Wells is an 8 on the mound with a 9.03 fielding percentage. Chicago the White Sox in good shape for a playoff run here in the second half. Eric Young at 287, 4 homers, and 29 RBI. Wells starts, slow ground ball to Canerco, underhands it to Wells, 1 out. It's Ricky Gutierrez. And Ricky at 299, 5 homers and 34 RBI. Ricky swings. That's lined into shallow right field. Ordonez will pick it up. He's going for 2, and Ricky has his 12th double of the year. So a packed house here at Wrigley Field. Sammy Sosa, 296, 23 homers, and 69 RBI. Sammy struck out 87 times in the first half and walked 55. And hard to believe that 64 did not lead the league, but remember, this is the year that Barry Bonds struck 73. Pitch to Sosa. He walked. So first and second, 1 out for Matt Stairs. Matt at 322, 18 homers, and 45 RBI. Tribe fan, how are you? Tribe fans rooting for the Cubs. Steeler fans rooting for the White Sox. Tribe fan is rooting for the Cubs. First and second, pitch to Stairs. Gets away from Alomar, and everybody moves up 90. On a wild pitch, and now it's a 2-2 count to Stairs. 1 out, bottom of the first, no score. And Stairs walks, and the bases are loaded for Rondell White, who does have a grand slam this year. 292, 12 homers, and 46 RBI. So the bases are full of Cubs. Wells mopping his brown on a hot day at Wrigley Field. White into left field. Lee over by the pens makes the catch. Gutierrez scampers back. but will hold with 2 out. Don Baylor was the manager of the Cubs, okay? So bases remain loaded for Ron Coomer. Pat Hughes, his partner, quite happy. 283, 3 homers, and 29 RBI. In 2001, maybe. Now, if all players get ejected, no biggie. My buddy I worked for at the sports store, if it was 2 teams he didn't like, he would root for helicopter accidents. Pitch to Coomer. Ground ball to Konerko, and Paul takes it to the bag himself, and the Cubs will leave them loaded. Kind of like Harry. After 1 inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, the Cubs leave on 3, no score. So Kip Wells threw 28 pitches in his half of the first. Ordonez at 328, Maglio with 16 homers and 65 RBI. Tomorrow is a maybe. Cat has a vet appointment. Hopefully we'll get everything in. And don't forget, tomorrow night is OOTP Perfect Team Night right here on Retro Sports Network. Popped up, left side, Coomer. He'll fight the wind to make the catch, 1 out. Now that wind is blowing in from dead center at 26. Steeler fan says, is there any way they can both lose? See, I feel that way when Ohio State plays Notre Dame. And in college football, you can't have a tie anymore. Konerko at 311, 14 homers, and 67 RBI. I can understand why Steeler fan doesn't like the White Sox. I think 2005 might have something to do with that. Pitch to Konerko. Ground ball left side past Gutierrez. And that's a single, and White picks it up. On several hops, he dropped it. Konerko was going to take second on the air. So it's a single and error. First hit for the Shy Sox. White tried to find Gutierrez, and Ricky just couldn't get it. It was a bad throw. It goes down as an E7. So here's Herbert Perry. Herbert at 260. Looking like he's posing for a Belle Biv DeVoe album. 7 homers and 28 RBI. Pitch to Perry into center field. Matthews, with the wind helping him, will make the catch. Konerko tags and will hold because Paul has about my speed. 2 out for Alomar. Sandy at 241, 4 homers and 30 RBI. Beret, deep breath, into shallow left center. Matthews rides a Schwinn, makes the catch, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, and the error does not hurt. Bottom of the second here at Wrigley Field, no score. So, Sarge, Junior, Machado, and Beret to face Wells here in the second. Gary at 205, 3 homers and 16 RBI. Base hit right field. That carried pretty well in this warm weather. Durham should have had it. Ordonez throws it back in, and it's Robert Machado. Robert at 138, no homers and 2 RBI. 87 now here at Wrigley. Wind blowing in from center at 21. September 23rd, I am told, will be Ron's I Don't Care game between Ohio State and Notre Dame. I can root for the plague, right? Pitch to Machado, and that gets away from Alomar. Matthews moves up to second on the wild pitch. So the count is full now. And I expect all sorts of nasty grams from Ohio State and Notre Dame fans now. Machado, ground ball to Durham. Ray throws to first, and Machado is retired. Matthews moves over to third. 1 out for Beret at 214, no homers and 2 RBI, and he's going to swing with that runner on third. When I followed college football, my 2 favorite teams were Michigan and whoever was playing Notre Dame. Pitch to Beret. Swings and a base hit into right center field. Jason is going to get 2 on the head first slide. And it's 1-0 Cubs. And that'll bring up Eric Young, who's 0 for 1. Wasn't the plague from March 2020 to the present? Yes, in fact, it was about a year ago I had the plague myself. I'm feeling much better now. Opening 9 for Wells, 43 pitches. Inning in the third, 3 hits and 2 walks. And that run coming there. Eric Young is 0 for 1. Bernie, how are you? Pitch to Young. There's a fly ball, right center. Singleton rides the Schwinn. Comes in, makes the catch. Beret scampers back to second. And he'll hold there. So Singleton with a diving catch on the grass. And that'll bring up Ricky Gutierrez, who doubled his first time up. Doing well, thanks. Wells deals. Struck him out, and that'll do it. So he got him looking at a fastball at the belt. 1 run, however, 2 hits and no errors for the Cubs. We go to the third on a warm day at Wrigley. 1-0 home team. So Clayton, Kip Wells, and Ray Durham to face Beret. Royce at 261, 5 homers, and 31 RBI. Struck him out. An 0-2 curve looked out for strike 3. Steeler fan says I was a lifelong Penn State fan until they fired Joe Pa over the phone. Ouch. Since then, go Irish. The opinions expressed in the chat are not necessarily those of Retro Sports Network. Kip Wells is 1 for 2. Has himself a single and a strikeout. It's 6 at-bats for the White Sox. Got him. So Beret got him with a full count fastball at 92. 35 pitches for Beret for his opening 9. 2 2/3, a single, or a hit rather, and 2 strikeouts. Ray Durham is 0 for 1. And there's a liner in the right field all the way down into the ivy. Durham is going to have 2 with ease. Sosa flings it back in. And that's his 22nd double of the year. Brings up Singleton. Chris is 0 for 1. And now I have someone who records my stuff. The next time that Mr. Wrestling does one of those AI things with me, he now is going to have a sound clip, thanks to Steeler fan, that says, "Go Irish." I'm so embarrassed. Singleton is 0 for 1. Durham on second. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. Beret got him to swing and miss on a changeup. So, no runs, a hit. They leave on a runner. We go to the bottom of the third here at Wrigley Field. 1-0 Cubs. So it'll be Sosa, Stairs, and White to face Wells, who hasn't pitched well. Sosa walked his first time up, one of the 2 allowed by Kip. The good news, if you're a White Sox fan, and there don't appear to be that many watching the stream right now, is you're only down 1-0. Pitch to Sammy. Laced into center field. Singleton has it played perfectly. 1 out. For Matt Steers, who also walked his first time up. Ball 4. So Stairs draws another walk. Full count fastball up high. Brings up Rondell White, who is 0 for 1. Stairs, not a threat to steal. Base hit right field. Ordonez will pick it up. Stairs will hold at second, and the Cubs are cooking with gas. You might even say barbecuing with 1 out in the third on this beautiful summer day in Chicago. Ron Coomer is 0 for 1. Stairs on second. White on first. Wells, deep breath. Struck him out. Full count fastball got him to chase. As they do some yard work behind me outside, it's a good thing that I've never mentioned anything about Yankees and love in the same sentence. Just saying that for those of you who collect sound bites for me. Here's Gary Matthews Jr. Gary singled and scored in the second. Wells deals, and Matthews draws the walk, and the Cubs have loaded the bases. 2 out for Robert Machado. Machado is 0 for 1. A single should score 2. Stairs on third. White on second. Has average speed. And son of Sarge has 6 speed on first. Wells has struggled. He's already thrown 82 pitches. And so this will definitely be a bullpen game for the White Sox fairly soon. Machado ground ball to third. Perry goes to Durham for the out. So the Cubs leave them loaded. They've left on 7 through 3. My goodness. No runs, a hit, no errors. They've had their chances, but Kip Wells is doing his impression of a weeble wobble. He can weeble and he wobble, but after 3, it's the Cubs 1, the White Sox nothing. Kip Wells hasn't fallen down. So Lee, Ordonez, and Canerco to face Beret here in the 4th. Midlife crisis. How you doing, John? Afternoon baseball, hopefully the next 3 days. Woohoo! And John has been a sub for 27 months. Thank you, sir. Remember, if you haven't attached your Prime to a Twitch account, it won't cost you a thing. Pitch to Lee. Ground ball to Gutierrez. Ricky throws it across the way. 1 out. For Ordonez, Maggie is 0 for 1. Beret winds and deals. And Ordonez draws the walk. Understandably on this warm day, Beret working in the shirt sleeves. Canerco has the lone hit, or the first hit for the White Sox. He's single. Ordonez with good speed. Throw to first. Ordonez back. Beret from the stretch popped up. Machado goes to the screen and runs out of real estate. The count is 0-2. Line drive to Coomer. And Ordonez has to scamper back. 2 out. So Beret throwing pretty well right now. Here's Herbert Perry. Herbert is 0 for 1. Lined into left field. White will pick it up. Perry digging for 2. And Herbert is in there. Ordonez is going to go all the way around and score to tie this game at 1. So Perry with his 16th double. And those 7 runners left on by the Cubs sting as it's now a 1-1 ball game. So here's Alomar Jr. He's 0 for 1. Right back up the box. Gutierrez behind the mound, and he had to run in so far. Alomar beat out the throw. He could have anticipated that just a bit better. But all for naught. Runners on the corners for the White Sox in a 1-1 tie. Here's Clayton. He struck out his first time up. So the defense has let Beret down. Spent an hour last night scrolling through old live chats. For some reason, call it narcissistic, midlife crisis. Remember Dave getting a kick out of your handle when I first joined one of your guys' chats. Yep, we had a good time with those. I remember when you followed or joined in a conversation, remember having a conversation with Dave at one point going, my midlife crisis has caught up to me, it's now following me. Pitch to Clayton, ball 4. So they're loaded, and Beret has kind of lost the script. The good news is, here's Kip Wells, who has struck out his first time up. Now, do they pinch hit for him? Pitch count-wise, he's at 86 through 3. So Perry on third, Alomar Jr. on second, and Clayton on first. And it will be Aaron Rowand, hello Philly fan, to pinch hit. So this could work out dandily for the White Sox. Rowand at 263, a home run, and 5 RBI. Popped up, left side, Coomer. Out of play. Somebody working at the Sears Tower made that catch, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Beret's pitch count was good. He's thrown 33 pitches here in this 4th inning. Walked home a run. Rowan throws the bat, and it's now 2-1 White Sox for Ray Durham. 1 for 2 with a double. Beret now opening 18, 3 2/3, 4 hits. Both the runs have come in this inning and are earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 3 on 82 pitches. So Alomar Jr. on third, Clayton on second, Rowand on first. Machado and Beret have a word. Jason winds and deals. Line drive to Gutierrez, and that'll do it. Gary Glover will come in for the White Sox. We go to the bottom of the 4th here at Wrigley Field. 2 runs for the White Sox to start the inning, and after 3.5, it's 2-1 Chicago. And so here are here are the standings. We'll get there. As we start the second half, Phillies a half game up on Florida, 2 up on Atlanta. The Astros 2 up on the Cubs, 6.5 on Cincinnati. San Francisco 5.5 on both the Rockies and Diamondbacks. In the American League East, the Yankees 7.5 up on Boston. White Sox 3 up on Cleveland, and Seattle just 4 up on Oakland. John says it was actually inspired by your wife. She was always complaining about your gaming. I told her I could be doing a lot worse things while experiencing a midlife crisis. So she referenced it a few times after, or thereafter, thus inspiring his moniker. Now she says it all the time, but it doesn't bug me. But doesn't bug me about gaming anymore. The fact that your midlife crisis 13, which means there's 12 other simps that go by midlife crisis. Gary Glover making his 15th appearance, by the way, 4-1 with a save and a 3.21 ERA. He's just 24 years old, fastball at 89. And a fly ball pitcher can go 75 pitches. He last pitched 4 days ago, so on Sunday, against the Pirates in an 11-9 loss. Simps. 2 innings, 22 pitches, 2 hits, and that's it. Overall, 33 2/3, 28 hits, 12 runs, all earned, 5 homers. He's walked 6 and struck out 17. 13 has always been your favorite number, A-Rod. Okay. And there was already a midlife crisis on Twitch. Just insulted him by calling him A-Rod. So Glover, Beret, Young, and Gutierrez here in the bottom of the 4th. Jason doubled and drove home the lone run for the Cubs in the 2nd. Fly ball, right field. Ordonez, 1 out. I'm being admonished. Here's Eric Young. EY is 0 for 2. Admonished is not a word you'd hear on a Fortnite stream. Ground ball, left side, base hit. So Young has himself a single. 13 is your favorite number 2. Wow, Jason lives. Oh, Davey Concepcion, that makes a lot of sense. Shortstop, too. Gutierrez, speaking of shortstops, 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. So Young on first. My number is 4. Up the middle. Singleton's got it. Again, good scouting report. 2 out for Sammy Sosa, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. EY's going to go. Alamar's throw down to Durham is not in time. And so for Young, that's his 23rd steal of the year. You got Bryce Harper back last night. I wonder how long it will take for his bat to get back into shape. Glover deals. Sosa swings. Left field. Long gone. That's on to Waveland. And the Cubs go ahead 3-2. And so Sosa out of the box was going stretch, stretch. And it did. He gone. Now that wind is blowing in from 21, 88 degrees. WBBM News Time, 11:31. John has been partial to 23 also since about 1984. I go back to 82 with that, and I bet we're talking about the same person. Matt Stairs has walked twice. Tribe Fan says, I wonder if someone has put together a timeline of when Ron says you won't hear that on a Fortnite stream. Well, I've done 1,000 videos. Good luck with that. And when's the earliest it's been said in the stream? I don't even know where I came up with that. Pitch to Stairs. Ground ball to Durham deep in the hole. Over to first. Konerko stays on the bag. And that'll do it. But Sammy Sosa plows a home run. A 2-run shot, 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 5th here at Wrigley Field. 3-2 Cubs. So here's Singleton. Chris is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ground ball to Young. 1 out. Here's Carlos Lee. Carlos is 0 for 2. I think my youngest regular watcher, maybe 38. My oldest semi-regular watcher that I know of is 70. Pitch to Lee. Fly ball, left center field. Matthews. Back almost to the track, 2 out. I hadn't thought of that. That ball is just well struck. Ordonez 0 for 1. A walk. And a run scored. Into right. Sosa. Halfway home. Dandy so far. After 4.5 on a rainy 48-degree day here in Burlington, Vermont, it's the Cubs 3, the White Sox 2. Wow, one of those rare occasions I got to drink in the commercial break all in 30 seconds. For those of you who just joined us, here's how we got here. Cubs failed to score on a hit and 2 walks in the first. Jason Beret doubled, the pitcher, to give the Cubs a 1-0 lead in the second. In the third, the Cubs had their chances and couldn't score. In the fourth, the White Sox went ahead. Herbert Perry doubled home Maggie Ordonez to make it 1-1, and then Aaron Rowan with a bases-loaded walk to make it 2-1. And in the bottom of the fourth, Sammy Sosa, it might be, it could be, it is a home run. His 24th of the year to make it 3-2 Chicago. Kip Wells didn't do well over the break. He just lasted 3 innings for the White Sox before pitch count troubles got to him. 4 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked 4 and struck out 2. Glover, not Cota, gave up the homer to Sosa. Beret, 5 innings, 4 hits. He has walked 3 and struck out 3. And as Rondell White steps up 1 for 2 with a single to start the 5th, Beret should go 1 more. Where I grew up, Fox carried the Yankee games. But although I was a Red Philly fan, this is John, the Yankees would be on midweek, sans cable TV in my area. Loved Donnie Baseball. Okay. Even chose 23 as your high school uniform number. Do we need to get you one of those Blue Jays coaches jerseys? Pitch to White. Struck him out. Glover got him on a split finger. So here's Ron Coomer. Ron is 0 for 2. Ground ball to Clayton. Royce deep in the hole. Throws to Konerko. See, Tribe fan, if you had been there to start the game, you would have heard the Raspberry Beret pun. Jason Raspberry Beret on the mound for the Cubs. The kind you find on a pitching mound. Here's Sarge Jr. He singled, scored, and walked. Gary's pitch struck him out. And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Respect him now. I was just kidding about the Jays coaching uniform. We go to the 6th, 3-2 Chicago. So it'll be Konerko, Perry, and Alomar Jr. for the White Sox here in the 6th. Beret, they hope to get him 1 more. Konerko 1 for 2 with a single. Line drive, Coomer, 1 out. Herbert Perry 1 for 2. He has doubled home a run. He's now driven in 29 and scored. 3-2 Cubs, 1 out, top the 6th. Line drive to Young, makes a leaping catch, 2 out. Again, the scouting report has almost been sensational where the Cubs defenders should be playing. Here's Alomar Jr. Sandy is singled, 1 for 2. All right, Steeler fan, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. And remember, no cotton up somebody's butt. You're no longer an Undertaker. Pitch to Alomar. Struck him out. So Beret does a good job to get through 6. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Bottom of the 6th coming up, it's 3-2 home team. So Machado, Beret, and Young to face Glover here in the 6th. Robert 0 for 2. 0 for 3 now as Glover got him looking at a fastball at the knees. 1 out. And so that'll do it for Beret. Who can hit a righty? And the answer to that, Delino DeShields. DeShields 1 for 4 since coming over from the Orioles. A double and an RBI. Now 90 degrees. And the wind is slid over to right center now. Pretty much off of Lake Michigan at 24. DeShields, a high ground ball to Konerko, but Paul's a good glove, 1 out. So Glover, 2 2/3, 34 pitches, 2 hits, a home run, and 3 strikeouts. Gave up the dinger to Sosa. Young 1 for 3. He has stolen a base, his 23rd, and scored. And don't ask me how I came up with the Candyman stuff for pinch hitters. One of those crazy things. Ground ball to Durham. Ray, a hard throw to first. And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 7th here at Wrigley Field. Cubs 3, White Sox 2. What do you mean you want a pitcher? So righty, who knows, in a switchy. So here's Todd Van Poppel coming in for the Cubs. 35th appearance, 29 years old. Fastball at 98, fly ball pitcher. 2-7 with a 5.66 ERA. That's one of the weird things is that when you go to the pen, you see the real numbers and not necessarily the replay numbers. Because he's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde out there. His real numbers, 4-1 with a 2.52 ERA. Van Poppel last pitched 6 days ago against the Tigers, so Friday in a 4-1 loss. When inning in the third, 28 pitches, a walk and a strikeout. 35 innings, 31 hits, 24 runs, 22 of them earned. Just the 2 homers. He's walked 28 and struck out 47. Clayton is 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. Van Poppel deals, and Clayton draws the walk. Todd and Gold Glove are never going to be mentioned in the same sentence. Not only is his range a 2 out of 10, but his fielding percentage is Babe Ruth, 714. Gary Glover, no way in heck he's going to bat here. And Jeff Leifer, or Leifer, I'm going to say Leifer, will pinch hit. Jeffrey at 276, 11 homers, and 28 RBI. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting 1,000 with a home run and 5 RBI. 3-2 Cubs, nobody out, top the 7th. Fly ball, right field, Sosa goes back, stretch, long gone. And so for Leifer, that's his 2nd pinch hit home run of the year. And the White Sox go back up by the score of 4-3. It might be. It could be. It is. Long gone. Is that Clark or Addison out there? That ball was hammered. And for Leifer, it's now a 12-game hitting streak. So here's Durham. Ray 1 for 3 and a double. Ball 4. So Van Poppel is Van Poopied. There's still nobody out. And Van Poppel's ERA is now a Boston 6.17. Throw to first. Durham is back. Singleton 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Little bunt. Van Poppel throws it over to Young. It worked. Durham goes to second. 1 out. For Carlos Lee, Carlos is 0 for 3. Fly ball to right. Sosa, foul territory. 2 out. Durham will hold. So 7th inning of stretch. We're going to do something a little different today because we're at Wrigley. So here's Ordonez. He's 0 for 2. Get your earplugs ready. Ordonez has walked and scored. He's 0 for 2. Machado and Van Poppel finally have a word. Ordonez into left field. White will pick it up. Durham will round third. Will he go? They throw to the plate, but Durham is in there rather easily, and it's now 5-3 Chicago. So Van Poppel has Van Poopied the bed. He's given up 3 earned runs here in the 7th, including the 2-run pinch hit homer by Leifer. Konerko is 1 for 3 with a single. Ground ball right side. Sosa will pick it up. Have I really got to put in another pitcher? Ordonez will take third. We'll give him Perry, who was 1 for 3 with a double, an RBI and a run scored. Struck him out. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Root for the Cubbies. They don't win, it's a shame. And it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey, hey! The good news is I didn't see a mass exodus after that. Alan Embry coming in to pitch for the White Sox. He came over on June 30th from the Giants and making his 5th appearance. He's 2-0 with an earned run average of 13.5. That's deceiving because he's only thrown 3 1/3 since being traded. 31 years old. Fastball at 90 and a fly ball plus pitcher. Yep, someone left. They heard me sing and said, "Screw this, guys, I'm going home." He pitched against the Pirates on the 8th. 11-9 loss. He went 1 inning, 25 pitches, a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. Since coming over from San Francisco, 3 1/3, 5 hits, 5 runs all earned. A home run allowed. That was to Baltimore. By the way, the Orioles in real life are having a year and a half, aren't they? He has walked 2 and struck out 5. I just broke Twitch. Wouldn't take much. It's Gutierrez. Ricky 1 for 3, a double and a strikeout. Sosa and Stairs to follow. Embry starts his afternoon. Ground ball foul, third base side. The thing is, I did that sober. Gutierrez waves the bat back and forth. I would love if somebody would post Scully doing that, because Scully could actually sing. Pitch to Gutierrez. Ground ball, base hit, left side. Lee will pick it up. So here's Sosa, Sammy the tying run. He is 1 for 2. He hit his 24th in the 4th. And is now driven in 71. Embry deals. Sosa into right field. That's going to get down there in the alley. Gutierrez turns on the afterburners. Ordonez plays it off the ivy. Gutierrez rounds third and scores. Sammy is digging for third. The throw from Durham to Perry is not in time. So that's the second triple of the year for Sosa. And it's a 5-4 ball game. And here is Matt Stairs. Now, if I got a first baseman, I think I might have burned him. It was 0 for 1. He's walked twice. John's grandfather used to say, were they clapping because it was good or because it's over? And I would venture to guess after Harry's endless supply of Budweiser that'd be clapping because it's over. He actually started that. Was that, I believe, down at Comiskey with the White Sox. I know that there was a year or two he worked in Oakland. I doubt he did it in St. Louis with the Cardinals. Pitch to Stairs. Gets away from Alomar, and Sosa scores the tying run. On the pass ball, and now it's a 5-5 ball game. So I wonder what the origin of that is. I think it started at Comiskey with Harry doing it. Not the song itself. That was written back in 1906 or something like that. But Jack Brickhouse did not sing it when he was the play-by-play guy for the Cubs. Pitch to Stairs into right center field. Back goes Ordonez. It might be off the wall. So Stairs is in there in the second standing. And Embry is getting Christmas treed. Hasn't retired a batter, allowed 3 hits and 2 earned runs. And here is Rondell White, who is 1 for 3. He is singled and struck out. Got him. A 1-2 curve, swung on and missed. Should have Gardner sing that during one of his baseball streams. Here's Coomer. Ron is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Embry deals. Gets away from Alomar again. And Stairs moves on to third. This time it's a wild pitch. And Embry and Alomar are not even on the same book, it looks like. We've had a pass ball and a wild pitch, and there's still only 1 out here in the 7th. Got him. 2-2 fastball swung on and missed. For the son of Sarge, Gary, 1 for 2, a single, a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. So Van Poppel, who allowed 3 runs in the top of the 7th, is now off the hook and could get the win if Matthews could bring home Stairs right here. Embry deals, struck him out. So a wild and woolly 7th inning, 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. They left on their first runner, the Cubs did, since the 3rd. And after 7 here on a hot day at Wrigley, it's the White Sox 5, the Cubs 5. So Kyle Farnsworth will come in to pitch. He's just going to go 1 inning, 44th appearance, 2 and 3, a save, an earned run average of 236. He's 25, throws that hard slider at 96 and a fly ball pitcher. He last pitched on the 7th, so last Saturday, a 7-3 win over the Tigers. Went 1 inning, 13 pitches, 2 hits, a run that was earned, 45 2/3, 32 hits, 12 runs all earned, 5 homers. He's walked 11 and struck out 54. And he is now the pitcher of record for the Cubs. Alomar, Clayton, and Embry here in the 8th for the White Sox. Sandy is 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Ball 4. So here's Royce Clayton, 0 for 1. Has walked twice, struck out, and scored. Remember, Bernie has his Red Sox game of the week at 1:30 Eastern on his YouTube channel. Ground ball to Stairs. Met with an absolute web gem. He fell down as he went to pick it up. Gathered himself. Clayton is fast afoot and Stairs is not. And then Matt Stairs made a mad dash to first base like the creamy machine was working down at McDonald's. 1 out. Stairs just, again, he fell down as he picked it up and did a barrel roll. And for Matt, who is, no one is going to consider him a Twiggy type person, a body build. Stairs got up and beat Clayton to the bag. 1 out. Let's see who they pinch hit for Embry here. Alomar moves to second. Jose Valentin. 143 is the pinch hitter. 287 overall. 16 homers and 46 RBI. So, top of the 8th inning, 1 out in a 5-5 ball game. White Sox and Cubs. Valentin draws the walk, and Farnsworth isn't pitching all that well. Brings up the top of the lineup now for the White Sox. Here's Ray Durham, who is 1 for 3. He has doubled, walked, and scored. Alomar on second, Valentin on first. Durham line drive to Young, and everybody's back. So here's Singleton. Chris is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. People have not recovered from his singing. Here's Singleton. Chris is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Machado and Farnsworth try to get on the same sentence. Struck him out. Whatever he said worked. Go to the bottom of the 8th here at Wrigley. Bob Howry coming in for the White Sox. 5-5. Bob 3-0 with the save. 38 appearances, an earned run average of 343. 27 years old. Fastball at 93 and a ground ball pitcher. Bob last pitched in that 16-2 mauling of the Pirates on the 7th. Inning in 2/3, 32 pitches, a hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. 42 innings, 43 hits, 16 runs, all earned, 4 homers, 10 walks, 37 strikeouts. All right, take care, John. It'll be Machado, a pinch hitter, and Young. Robert is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Howry deals. Popped up. Alomar behind the plate. Should have room. He does. 1 out. It is a warm, muggy day here at Wrigley. 91 degrees. Wind blowing off of Lake Michigan at 21. Into right center. Farnsworth. Will be pinch hit for by Michael Tucker, the lefty, at 229. The former Red, 3 homers and 9 RBI. So welcome to the north side, Michael Tucker. Struck him out. Got him on a fastball that was way outside, and that'll bring up Eric Young. Eric 1 for 4. A run scored and a stolen base. Line drive to right. Ordonez comes in, and Ewise got himself a 2-out single. So he has a steal already, 23 on the year. Gutierrez 2 for 4. A double and a run scored, 2 outs. If they can get Young in, they can close this out. Lee, Ordonez, and Canerco for the White Sox in the 9th. Sammy Sosa's on deck. Pitch. Well, Howry and Alomar will have a word. Bob does. And Gutierrez walks, and so now you have first and second. And a pitching change. You're not going to have Howry pitch to Sammy Sosa. And so Matt Ginter, making his 6th appearance, is 1-0 with a 1.86 ERA. I think I'm just talking to myself now. Ginter, 23. Slider at 88 and a ground ball pitcher. Last pitch, or I did slider. Yeah, did that one already. Ginter last pitched in that 16-2 win on the 7th, 2 1/3, 32 pitches, and 2 strikeouts. Overall, 9 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3 and struck out 7. So first and second, 2 out for Sosa, who was already homered in this ball game. He now is 24, while driving in now 72. He's driven in 3. So Ginter right into the frying pan, into the fire here, trying to slam the door on this Cubs rally. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. Advantage White Sox. Got him looking. And they'll leave on 2. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 9th here at Wrigley. 5-5 the score. And so righty, 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 and with everyone available, Jeff Fassero will come in. Fassero making his 49th appearance. He is 38, looks about 48. Fastball at 87, standard pitcher. 2 5, 2 saves, and an earned run average of 306. And he last pitched on the 8th. So the day before the All-Star game, or the Sunday before, in a 3-2 loss to the Tigers, went an inning, 11 pitches, 2 hits and a strikeout. 47 innings, 40 hits, 16 runs, all earned. He's allowed 4 homers, he's walked 22 and struck out 40. Lee, Ordonez, and Konerko. Here in the 9th. Carlos is 0 for 4. Fassero deals into right. Sosa running in. 1 out. For Ordonez, Maggie is 1 for 3, a single, an RBI, a run scored, and a walk. Into left center, Matthews goes way back there. Long gone. Oh my goodness. Ordonez hit it out of Wrigley Field. And for Maggie, his 17th of the year did indeed stretch. So 6-5 White Sox. My goodness. So Ginter in line for the win. That strikeout of Sosa now is beyond huge. Here's Konerko. Paul is 2 for 4. He singled twice. Fassero deals. Struck him out. So 2 out. Got him looking for Herbert Perry. 1 for 4. Double and RBI. A run scored and a strikeout. Into center. Matthews in the left center makes the catch, and that will retire the side. Keith Foulke goes to close it out for the White Sox next. Keith, 35th appearance, has converted all 22 save opportunities he's been given. 1-0 with a 1.64 ERA, 28 years old, changeup at 90, and a fastball at 90, and an extreme ground ball pitcher. Last pitched in the 8th in an 11-9 loss just before the break to Pittsburgh. Inning in a third, 29 pitches, 3 hits and a strikeout. Overall, 33 innings, 20 hits, just 6 runs, all earned. 5 of those runs have come off the home run. He has walked 4 while striking out 34. So Stairs, White, and Coomer. Cubs need 1 to tie, 2 to win. Matt 1 for 2, a double, and has walked twice. Struck him out. Foulke got him on an 0-2 changeup. In there at the knees for Rondell White. Rondell 1 for 4. He has singled and struck out twice. And that is a tying run as White draws the walk. So a 3-1 changeup that could not be framed by Alomar. And that'll bring up Coomer, who can win this thing. He's 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Gary Matthews Jr. on deck. 1 out, bottom of the 9th, 6-5 White Sox here at Wrigley. Got him. So an 0-2 change. 2 out. And Coomer has struck out 3 times. So Gary Matthews, last chance saloon for the Cubs. 1 for 3. He has singled, struck out twice, walked, and scored. Folks pitch. Ground ball to Konerko. Paul takes it to the bag, and the White Sox win this one 6-5. So somehow it took 4 hours and 27 fake minutes to play this game. Really an hour and 5. So the White Sox, 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They leave on 9. And Leifer is going to be your digital dice MVP. It was his pinch hit home run in the 7th that put them ahead. And then that run in the 9th. 5 runs, 10 hits, and error for the Cubs. They leave on 11. Matt Ginter gets the win. He goes to 2-0. He faced 1 batter, got the strikeout, got some money for arbitration. Keith Folk, a walk over his inning and 2 strikeouts. Kip Wells only pitched 3. If you're going to have a bullpen game, coming off the break is the right way to do that. Glover also 3 innings and 2 runs. Beret gets the start for Chicago. 6 runs, 4 hits, 2 runs. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Van Poppel had a bad inning, but Jeff Fassero is the one that gave up the game-winning hit. And that's the final score, 6-5. All right, rest of the day in baseball for you. In Interleague Thursday, Kansas City beats Pittsburgh 4-1. Jeff Suppan 7-7. Anderson 8-6. Brian Giles is 17th, 3 for 4 in the process. And Drive has a double. Cleveland beats the Reds 8-2. Ricardo Rincon 4-1. Mercado 2-2. Jim Thome 2 for 3, 4 RBI and 2 doubles. Jays beat the Phillies 10-3. Chris Carpenter 8-7. Coggin 0-1. Carlos Delgado 1 for 4, 18th of the year and 4 RBI. Mets beat the Red Sox 3-2. Al Leiter 4-6. Young Kim 1-3. Joe McEwing 3 for 4, a double and 2 stolen bases. Montreal downs Tampa Bay 6-3. Mats 1-0. Creek, well, he was up 1-2. Vladdy Guerrero 3 for 4, his 22nd of the year and 2 RBI. In a pre-match of the 2003 World Series, Marlins over the Yankees 7-1. AJ Burnett 8-3. Mike Mussina 11-5. The gift bag, Derek Jeter 3 for 3 with a double. Baltimore downs Atlanta 3-2. Wow. Cindy Ponson goes to 7-4. Reblinger 2-8. Tim Raines, his first of the year, 1 for 1. St. Louis and 10 over Detroit, 3-2. Varys 2-4. C.J. Natowski is 4-3. Simon 1 for 1, his first of the year. Twins shut out Milwaukee 4-0. Kyle Loesch 1-1. Haynes his way 3-13. Sanchez 3 for 4 and 2 triples. Houston behind Moises Alou's homer, 5 hits and 4 RBI. Shut out the Padres 11-0. Reynolds 10-2. Jones 2-10. Colorado 6-4 over Texas. Pedro Estacio 8-7. Kenny Rogers couldn't gamble his way out of this one. He's 5-8. Powell is third save. Seattle and 14 beat San Francisco 5-4. Sasaki 2-3. Zerbe 1-2. Marvin Bernard, 3 for 3, 6 of the year and drives in 2. Mark Mulder throws a 2-hit shutout. He strikes out 6, walks 2, and beats Jesse Orosco, of all people, 4-0 over the Dodgers in Oakland. And last but not least, in 10, Anaheim over Arizona 5-4. Holtz 1-4, Craig Swindell 0-5, David Eckstein 3 for 5, a double and a stolen base. Tomorrow's game will be, where did I pick? San Francisco and Seattle. Russ Ortiz and Jamie Moyer expecting to go noon Eastern. Join us for that, won't you? I'm Ron Zuckett. Have yourself a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. So long.